Last night, the Jewish community returned to Bondi, along with many thousands of other Australians, to show that unity will triumph over division, love will triumph over hatred, and importantly, light will triumph over darkness. And that was the theme of the vigil, light over darkness. Emotions were raw and a lot of people in the community are hurting and angry. And some of that anger was directed towards me, and I understand that. As Prime Minister, I feel the weight of responsibility for an atrocity that happened whilst I'm Prime Minister. And I'm sorry for what the Jewish community and our nation as a whole has experienced. The government will work every day to protect Jewish Australians, to protect the fundamental right as Australians that they have to be proud of who they are, to practice their faith, to educate their children, and to engage in Australian society in the fullest way possible. We're not going to let the ISIS-inspired terrorists win. We won't let them divide our society, and we'll get through this together. And today, my cabinet has met for the second time since this incident. As well, the National Security Committee met for the 9th time since this anti-Semitic terror attack. And we went through the legislation and the legislative measures that the government is considering and that we will now further consult with the community on to make sure that there's as broad an agreement as possible. We'll also, after that process, be consulting across the Parliament as well to make sure that this is indeed a time where we have what is needed, which is urgency and unity, not division and delay. Urgency and unity is what we need. A summary of the legislative measures that will be considered: creating an aggravated offence for hate preaching, advocating violence against protected groups; increasing penalties for existing offences for hate speech, advocating violence or property destruction against protected groups; making hate motivation a factor in sentencing for Commonwealth crimes, with options to limit this to online threat and harassment crimes as announced, to expand to all Commonwealth crimes if required. We want to list prohibited hate organisations to make it a criminal offence to join, recruit or support an organisation listed by the Home Affairs Minister and the Attorney-General. Racial vilification and promoting racial supremacy offence. So we're considering drafting options there. We want the power to cancel visas where the Home Affairs Minister suspects a person has engaged in vilification, hate speech, promoting violence, displaying hate symbols or associating with a terrorist organisation or prohibited hate group. We're looking at changes to hate symbols offences as well, and also looking at changes to the Customs Act to ban importing extremist material or hate symbols. In addition to that, we had a discussion about gun laws, and today the State and Territory Senior Officials Group is meeting. We want to work through with State and Territory governments. I know that New South Wales is considering legislation this week, but we want to work through right across the board those changes or proposed changes.